what time it is? It's the Culture Minds podcast series.
Right, greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Culture Minds podcast. I am Scott Le Roc, and I got two beautiful ladies across the desk from me.
Hey.
I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I am Nadia Brancker, and it's good to be here. It's fun, our first podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're excited. I'm excited.
You were like telling that you weren't sure.
No. It's a little awkward. Like, we don't really know each other, but, you know, we have...
Yeah. I'm Rebecca.
Hey.
All right, like you said, well, we barely know each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird for you.
Yeah.
But I think we can make it true.
Yeah.
All right,
I hope so. We have a choice.
And we outside people, things opening up. We have some level of crop over. So I am happy.
Ooh, are
At
you?
least about that. I am. You know what is 2 years?
Yeah,
Well,
2 years
jumping.
of nothing.
Yeah, crop over is a blessing, not a curse. No, you need that release.
Yeah.
You need to feel that freedom. I miss it.
You're traumatized.
I am traumatized. No, anybody that knows me, no. People think it's just, you just put on a costume and you just jump and you walk up. No, it's more than that. It's the people, it's the music. It's really a great feeling. I miss it. I'm very excited. Thank you.
And just like that, we just found out a lot about Nadia.
Yeah.
A party girl, clearly, Rebecca.
Well,
It's a crop
used
over
to
baby.
be. Yeah.
I feel like you're coming home now.
Yeah, it feels good, and I think a lot of us need it. I think our entertainers need it. We need to make some money again.
For sure.
Yeah, we need to feel good again.
What about you, Rebecca? A little bit about yourself before.
Oh, about me? Well, how about this? I only ever saw crop over one time in person in my face. Like, I've seen it
What?
online. I see all the pictures, but only ever once in person.
You's a Bajan?
Yes. Barely.
I know everybody. What do you mean?
I know. I'm not a big party person, so I'm like the opposite of you now. So I went and saw it in person. I was like, that's cool, but I never jump down the road or anything.
So we
Opposite.
jumping this year then.
Are we?
We're going on the road.
Jump anywhere.
I like in this cast two opposites: house mouse
Yeah.
and former party girl.
Yes, that's
Yes.
She's coming back now.
I
And
think most people know me fairly well,
Yeah.
so yeah, that introduction is unnecessary. I
how
want to put
does
the
it
ladies
feel
on.
to be out again? Because with DJs, y'all weren't at parties and cruises, so it must feel nice to be back out there.
To be honest, right? And I don't know if I should say this, but I can say it anyway. I was enjoying being home, though. I mean, I missed the money, but I was enjoying the downtime and not the constant hustle
Okay,
and bustle and this
understood.
party, that party.
Yeah.
It was sweet,
Yeah.
but now we're back outside. Glad to be back outside
Yeah.
again, of course, because bills got paid. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't think I ain't get back into it yet. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, because it's not what we left. You know, it's still new. It's
yeah.
still, you have to be cognizant still. And
People still
mask and-
getting ready to go home from parties at 11:30,
Yeah,
12 o'clock. People didn't get back into staying out past
It's true.
curfew
Yeah.
time yet.
It's weird.
I don't know how it feels like to be outside at those hours. You know, because you're still used to being in the house.
Yeah.
And it's still different. It would not be how it used to be, but at least we're seeing something.
COVID has changed life
Yeah.
and perspectives on life for sure.
Yeah. It
For
made you
sure.
see a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
If you had any mental issues, whatever you had to deal with. Because you were home.
You could not
If
escape
you-
it anymore.
If you didn't let the people home at you,
Yeah.
for sure you knew. Or it ain't like you. If you
moving
didn't let
over
your
here.
partner, if the children annoying you knew for sure
Yeah.
what your house stood like. at
Whatever
that
you were
point.
ignoring, it was at the surface. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's good to deal with things and good to see things for what they are sometimes. But sometimes we ignore things so much, or we just like, all right, it's okay, we keep rolling. But you can ignore anything. It was like in your face. So what
And
you gonna do?
because I think you and your partner had a whole show.
Yeah, we
Oh,
had nothing
that
to do,
time,
so we
no.
just used to sit down and converse and record it, edit it, and put it up.
It made people get real creative.
Yeah, for sure. I think for most people, though, COVID did work out for the better. There was a lot of growth. A lot of fresh ideas came out of it, and thing, too. This is why we are here. I'm pretty sure this was a
Yeah,
COVID
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Like, we need a podcast.
Yeah, I guess for the better, I guess you could say that. You had to be more creative, but it was hard, and especially for moms home with kids and homeschooling and trying to navigate that and working. It's crazy. I can't tell anybody it was relaxing.
Right.
That is difficult.
You are a mom. You have
Yes, I have
twins.
twin boys.
Oh, loss.
3-year-old twin. So mummies know when you home with little people all the time, and then there's a lockdown, and then when they get out to nursery, if they sneeze, they're back home. It is rough, and we need to jump. That's why we need to go over. He can relax home, but no, we need to get out.
All right, mummies.
Mummies, we out. Like, drink for that.
Look, it's crazy. Speaking of mummies, though, I want to get back to where I was going before I put the ladies on the spot. Have either of you ever had a man like defend your honor, so to speak?
Defend your honor. Well, I guess the fact that we're taking so long to answer you probably means
So
maybe
wait,
no.
so is that black men or Benjamin don't defend you?
Oh.
Okay, that what it is? Because
No?
You like stand up for you, or
Right, that's defending your honor. That's what I mean. Like,
person for you.
not Will Smith and anybody, but like defend your honor. Like somebody talking trash or whatever, or a man getting too handsy or too friendly.
Yeah.
And your boyfriend or your husband or whoever steps in, like, nah, buddy, not today.
Yeah, it's true. And sometimes even a stranger. Sometimes you say it like that. You may be out and somebody, you're
Realize
pushing
you
on and a
can't-
guy
yeah.
may say, hey,
Nah, let she
all right, leave
leave
the girl
it up.
alone,
Yeah.
So that it is true, yeah.
You have had a man defend your honor.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Break it down. I think, we had a whole, there's a whole movement of course, women, I want a man could do nothing for me, and I think it's still a good thing when our males in society can still say, hey, don't trouble that girl, leave that girl alone.
Right.
I think it's a good thing. Now, how far it goes now, that's the question,
Right.
But I think it's a good thing. I still believe in that. Are men protecting us? Not that you cannot, of course, protect yourself, but I still believe when a man could, as simple as a man even opening a door. Some people like, no, I can open my own. There's nothing wrong with those things. I want to teach my sons those things.
Right.
So I have no problem with it.
Right.
If you're going to get out your seat to slap somebody, I don't know. I don't know.
That wouldn't make you feel like really bubbly on the inside, like, oh my God, Scott was up there talking trash and my boyfriend got up and went for him and he put him in his place. Wax.
Only somebody was telling you, it's Bacchanalia, one Bacchanalia, go and get it, right? No, actually, I think that it will bring another question for me, like anger issues. Like, you can handle a situation. If he told me, babes, come, let me walk over to this. I ain't like this comment. But for you to go and hit somebody else, then I got a question, no, you could hit me. Like, how are you handling defending me, or how are you handling, yes, you're angry, yes, you're passionate about it, but the fact that you can leave your seat and go and slap somebody else, it's almost a little scary for me.
Right.
I get it. Even in the situation, which I guess you all will go into a bit more.
Everybody know what we're talking about.
When we'll slap
the slap that they said reverberated around the world.
But are we too sensitive now? Like, because now we have this whole, you say anything and people get cancelled. And was Will being too sensitive? Was he right in saying, well, my wife is going through something, but everybody going through something?
Yeah, it's true.
Remember Wakanda, that guy, people were making fun of him and they realized, obviously, he was
sick.
Yeah.
What about you, Rebecca?
I don't know. I never had anyone defend my honor.
What?
Per se.
Guys, you gotta step up your game.
But, I don't know. I probably
Benjamin,
try.
Benjamin didn't want nobody hit them.
I just try. I'm like a peacemaker. You'll
Right.
learn that about me. Like, my friends make fun of me and they say, "Oh, people get in a fight." Your friends like, "Yeah, give me hold my errands. Like, come in and help you." I'm like, "Guys, it's okay. Let's just talk it out." Like, I'm like very peaceful. So I try to stay away from stuff. So maybe there wasn't anything to defend, or sometimes I would, like now going through COVID and stuff. Like you say, you learn things about yourself. Like, I learned to be more vocal for myself.
Right.
And if anyone's gonna speak up for me, it should be me first, right? Not somebody else. So not necessarily defend, but yeah, I learned to defend myself,
Right.
like generally, and just say what I think and not be afraid about what other people think.
What
as
would you
much.
expect in a relationship that a man, if anything happened, that a man should defend you though?
Yeah, defend me, but not like I don't want no one to punch anyone for me. Like I rather you. Like you say, just diffuse the situation and say, you know what, this is a bad vibe. Let me get out of here. Let's go. We're not gonna be a part of this. But obviously it depends.
You're
on the
sure
level.
that when you get home, you want to be like, you let he start there and sit down, you do nothing.
But that's a good point. Because a lot of women say that, but they would be vexed.
Wanna change their mind.
You want to deal with that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind saying something or like defending this, right? Putting your foot down and saying like, you're not gonna disrespect my girl, or you're not gonna talk to somebody like that. But I wouldn't want it to go to the point of like actually physically hitting someone like that. I wouldn't feel good about that.
So Scott, you would do it? Like, you thought, you know, your girlfriend was being, you know, hurt over something somebody said, do you think you would get to the point that you would actually hit a person?
I'm the most peaceful guy you'll ever meet, unless you catch me on a really off day. But no, I can't see myself like hitting somebody for something they say.
Okay.
It will gotta be more than that,
Yeah.
right?
Even if because obviously, I mean, for women, alopecia, I mean, losing your hair, you have to be home crying so much, and like the pain in that, watching your hair fall out has to be.
That's
seeing
hard.
that home has to be so hard. Do we bring people now to the edge now? You know, like it's okay if people say, I can say we feel like saying I don't want to, you know, but do we now go too far?
That's a very good question.
Thank you.
It's a very good question for real, because you never know how much and what they have been going through at home and what he's seeing in his house and blah, 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 blah. But still, how far is too far? Like,
I guess some people will say he's a comedian, so he's gonna make jokes about people, and he's gonna say you gotta have a thick skin or maybe not take it seriously. But I guess because it's a medical condition, it's not like she shaved her head and she just has her head shaved. Like she didn't have a choice. So, and like you say, like women's hair is. If I didn't have hair, I would feel so like
it's rough.
Yeah, I would feel like I didn't have this like hair makes you feel beautiful, right? Yeah. So I could get that. He maybe on the other side, he's seeing her feel really bad, and she's very strong, like outgoing to people when she's on her shows, and she's always very out there. But maybe behind the scenes, it really affects her, you know.
Right. So then to have somebody come and quote unquote make fun about it in front of hundreds of people at that show, maybe that was the breaking point then.
But I feel for comedians though. No, to be a comedian now must be real hard. You can't, you don't know, even Dave Chappelle, you know, obviously we saw, you know, some issues with him. It's like, what is a joke now? What can't I make fun of now? You know?
True.
Just comedians or in life in general?
In life, whatever you say, and to me it's really difficult. Like, you know, you're all on the radio and you're talking, like you don't know, like you can offend people so
easily.
And in the islands, in the Caribbean, we were not sensitive people.
Nah.
We
would laugh at everything.
If your head was big, your head was bigger, boy, you call you whatever, your ears Dumbo, if you're short, whatever it was, you were teased. So that sensitivity we didn't have as much to me. I don't know we're getting it now. But to me it feels so hard to just talk. Whatever you say, you offending. So I mean for Chris Rock, he was shocked. He was like, wait, what he said, boy? Because you know what I mean? And we see so much comedians, we see so much people on the radio, you have to watch everything. It's hard. It's hard to just live.
Yeah.
It's a burden.
If you say the wrong term, you know you're wrong. If you
people don't call you and like say, well, you could say that. Like people will call and complain like for
every once in a while.
Right?
I don't get those calls too often. I guess because of how I used to respond to them in the beginning, like, so they know like, nah, he's not the one. Because
you used to shut them right now.
You just gotta shut that crap down because they feel like people are really too sensitive, and it's getting worse. Like we getting way too Americanized because that's the only place I could see it coming from. Like everything over there is an issue. If I tell you, oh, you look really nice in that shirt today, Nadia, why is he commenting on my shirt? Oh my God, that was so sexist.
Yes, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. You know, I gotta drop the race card in here too, though, because people have been talking about it. Like this black man, very world-renowned black man, black actor, who actually won one of the biggest awards on that same night, got up out of his seat and went and assaulted another black man at a quote-unquote, as my boy Ken put it, white people event, an event that black people have been saying for years, oh, we don't get enough recognition at this event. And then this happened. So the race card is in there for sure. How do you think it made black people look, or does race not even matter?
You're giving a loaded question.
Yeah. So when I got enough to talk about, and I ain't gonna talk that much.
I know, I can be real honest, right? When I see my people behave certain places, certain ways, certain places, I'm like, man, you know we black. Like, man, don't be body
we all
see it. I mean, you know you're black. Don't come and hit somebody at the Oscars. I mean, we do it. And to me, I don't want to generalize. Do our black men have issues with dealing with conflict? Do we need to change what is going on in our households? I mean, we've seen it even in the Caribbean. We look at our entertainers. We even saw Jacquier another issue in jail for again. 6 years again. He came out of having a rape conviction, was able to come out, have a career.
Very successful career.
Excellent. Had family, everything. Now you're in an issue where, you know, an altercation happened with somebody. I know you're back in prison. Now, we have to look at, I don't know if it's a black issue, if it's a black men issue, but how we deal with conflict, how we deal with issues. Are we too fast to go and slap somebody, to hit somebody, to stab somebody? I don't know if it's a race card. I know as a black person, I didn't want to see it.
Right.
Because then we are already put in a certain bracket. And two, as black men, I guess you could speak for, you know, some, but not for all, but in certain, you're in entertainment, you are in sports. You have to hold yourself by a different standard.
Yeah.
You have to.
You can't react like the average
You cannot.
guy.
Yeah. And maybe the average guy, maybe how we're socialized in our homes. Maybe, I don't know, something has to change. We see it too often. We see talented people from Vibes to whoever now lock up. A lot of talented people now, you can't, you know, Jack Cure, that's pretty much his career maybe, you know, lock up for 6 years. So how we deal with anger, something has to change.
Yeah, that's a big part of it for sure.
Something has to change.
I think it was even more shocking because of who was involved in that particular situation. Because he's like a big man. When I say big man, I mean big in the sense of he's very popular. Like he is who he is. And then he's a big man. He's grown, as people would say.
And he claimed to be ground raising. The people would say walk,
Yeah.
Buddha, whatever religion. You know what I mean? Like, I know I am a transformer man, a peaceful man. Then to see you do that is like,
what is going on?
We got
Crazy.
some issues to deal with. I don't know if it's a black people issue. I know it's a black man issue. I don't know if it's, I know he talked about watching his mom being abused. I don't know if violence comes quick. I don't know. But there's something wrong because you see you in therapy, you talk to the, you know, you do all the jump on the plane, all these things to be a better man, and we see you still there.
I want to bring it back to that point you made, though, about how we deal with anger and stuff. Maybe that is a race issue.
Maybe.
Or maybe we just see it as a race issue because we only see it portrayed a certain way within a particular race. Like, we always see black men shooting one another, fighting, blah, blah, blah. You don't know what happens in the other race. Not pointing fingers at Rebecca, but I kind of am pointing fingers at you. Because maybe you can give us some insight. Because, like...
I think, well, there's definitely a stereotype. I think people tend to generalize everything together, or maybe it gets highlighted more.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, for people who are black, but it definitely seems like if something bad happens, it gets highlighted more than maybe other races. And one, is not fair because it's feeding this stereotype. That's not true. I mean, there are millions of people in this world, and one person goes and does one thing, and that sets back for your race, you know? So it's not a nice thing. And then for other people outside of that race, we don't want to look at that and believe that, but that's what the media puts out there, and they love the drama, right? So they're gonna jump on that. So
Black men.
yeah, they're gonna go with that, and they're gonna ride that until it runs out. And then, but that's not fair because that's not true. You are not like you're not the same. You know, everybody has, no matter your skin type, you are all different. So it's not fair that you get boxed in.
And we are.
But it's reality.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
So what do you do?
When somebody see him know, black man, you're gonna go and slap somebody. My other question to that, in the Caribbean, are we too okay with violence? Because even when there are domestic abuse issues, right, you will hear even comments like, but she must see was real irritating the man. You know what I mean?
Oh, I hate to hear that.
Or whatever the issue is. Like, even I've heard people say, well, if he says something, he want a little slap there, you know, what Christian do is thump you back. I don't know if in our cultures, violence is so normal that I don't know if it bothers us as much as it should.
Oh, Lord, no. This going to come into the discipline and all that conversation there, no, because people say that the way we discipline children in the Caribbean is very violent.
Yeah.
And it makes them more prone to violence as they grow up because they see it as normal.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, my mother get back to me, do something wrong, I get beat with a belt.
Yeah.
I get back to you, you do me something wrong, I can beat you because that's the only way I can teach you to respect me and learn, because you don't learn it, you hard ears, you understand what I mean? Rebecca's looking at me like,
No, because I know a lot. I mean, I'm not a parent, so maybe Nadia could shed some light. Because I know how some people are like, don't lash your children, but a lot of Caribbean people think like lashes. I'll give you a little babo. So
I don't think discipline like that to me. Well, obviously, if it goes too far, is an issue. I think more. Because I believe, you're fair and firm. There are some kids, time out is cute. that's real cute. You know what I mean?
Does it work?
But sometimes, you know, you might go do a lash.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it all the time because no, it's better to talk, and we've seen differences.
Mm-hmm.
I think we don't want to be honest. In a lot of in Caribbean households, there have been and clearly American too. You've seen a lot of domestic violence. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of anger.
Yeah.
So therefore, that is what you see coming out. Not because Miss Smith hit you. I mean, some teachers went too far.
Yeah.
We all have stories of we know that.
Chalkboard dust are coming at your head, blazing.
Yes. we know that story, you know. But I think a lot of households, there are a lot of hidden secrets, a lot of hidden people getting maybe beaten, people getting shot at, a lot of abuse in homes, and then you see it coming out in our children. In Will Smith, he's still a human being, so it came out right there. You have problems.
Right.
That anger came to you to slap somebody. That is something maybe from childhood. That's something from a household. We saw Chris Brown. I mean, not to bring it up again.
Oh no.
But we saw that there was issues, and regarding that he was a big star. They were clearly. He said, you know, I saw my mom being beaten, and those things are unpacked as we get older. We are all in relationships and see, you know, whatever the issues you have, whatever the baggage that other person brought to the relationship, we can see that, and it comes out.
Well, that's very interesting because I did read something like that, and they say a lot of the time you don't even know that you're carrying that baggage or that resentment or carrying that issue, but then something happens and it triggers it, and all of a sudden you slap somebody. You don't even think that you would ever slap somebody.
Yeah, because you would never be.
Because you swore to yourself, exactly, I would never do what I saw this man doing or saw this person doing to my mom. And then all of a sudden you become the same person.
And that's what he cried after, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw the crying, and because he didn't realize maybe he still even had that.
Mm-hmm.
That need to feel, you know, somebody can mess with my woman, I can mess with you, somebody mess with my mother, somebody mess with whoever, you know. And
everybody saw it.
And
the whole world.
And the thing is with their lives, I didn't want to tell people something, right? The only difference maybe with what he did and you could see his. You could see his issues. The difference with us is that nobody know what's going on in our homes. But you can see his issues there. That's it.
Oh, it's crazy.
That's it.
That's rough to deal with, though. Like the scrutiny of, like everyone makes mistakes, right? And
everybody has to see it.
But for some, like I mean, literally today is like I can't stop seeing it.
Yeah.
So imagine like as one single person, like feeling like every single person.
I wonder how celebrities deal with that in general.
As local celebrities.
Oh, jeez.
Local celebrities?
In Barbados,
this is Barbados,
but in Barbados, it's very easy to be a celebrity. You know, once you're on the radio, people swear.
A celebrity?
No, I remember I was listening to Amory on CBC. And she was saying she went into KFC. I don't know if you saw it, but she just said something simple. She went into KFC and somebody came to her and said to her, you know, basically you should be eating KFC. You're getting too big for the screen or whatever the comment was. Yeah.
Sorry.
How you can get slapped.
Amory is my good friend. I didn't mean to laugh.
Yeah. But it would make you, because you like somebody actually said that.
Yes, that's why I laughed at.
And it just showed,
ridiculous.
And I guess she's a local celebrity. So the person thought it was okay to tell her, well, I don't feel you should eat this KFC because I find you getting a little, if it was big or whatever the term used. And I remembered it because it shocked me. Because I said, wow, the things we think are that it's okay to tell somebody because you saw them on television.
Crazy. Yeah.
So they think that they know. They think that they know her.
Like they feel like they know you.
So
for
I
real.
can tell you don't worry about that chicken sandwich today.
But
You know what I mean?
that's so wild.
Yeah.
But even as like, not even as a celebrity, I just think in general. I mean, in Barbados, that's like a greeting.
Yeah.
Well, you got so big. That's a greeting. It's not hello. It's not how are you. And I'm like, how do people say these things to
Playing
people?
awesome size, boy. Or is that that? Or you getting small? Yeah.
You sick? You?
Yeah.
Good Lord, just let me live.
I think we need to change the narrative, and we saw that. Like, you don't know what somebody's straw is. You don't know what somebody's going through. If you don't got nothing good to say, shut up. Just
I agree.
Shut up. Like, I know there's a Barbadian thing that you need to pinpoint every.
No, but it's unnecessary. You don't have to talk to. I don't know how people get the gall to say it. Like, how you so bold that you can walk up to someone and say, "Man, you get so big," or "Well, you're so small." Like, what wrong with you?
It doesn't even require gall. That's just the agenda.
That's
just how we are. That's the norm.
So I don't get it.
I mean, our generation is a little more aware of it because we see the problem with it. But the generation before us and the one before them, to them that's normal.
Yeah.
But what do you respond and say? What's the best thing to tell them? I always wanted to know.
always smile.
I always wanted to know, like, do you answer or do you just say, hi?
remember.
I tried to think of how my grandmother and never respond to it. But
And a girl said, somebody came to her. I'm just in the aisle. So, whoa, you get fat. And she said, but at least I still pretty. And they laughed. I didn't want it funny. Hey, the person, shut up.
Shit.
The person said, yeah, you and your little ugly self, go ahead. I let at her and I started to like laugh. And she kind of like, go.
Yeah.
I'm here standing up by my little brain. And she thinks she come as a little fat again. And they said, well, maybe that's the response.
I like that response though. I like
crazy.
that.
But we don't get that same level of public scrutiny that the real celebrities get. Even if you have Bajan celebrities, because I don't feel so. You feel like you're a celebrity, like you are a celebrity, Rebecca?
No.
Exactly.
There are Bajan celebrities still. There's still some people that.
There are Bajan people who are well recognized for what they do, but they don't get treated like on a celebrity level.
Yeah.
When I travel and play overseas, like New York, for example, or even sometimes St. Vincent, Trinidad, I feel like a celebrity when I get down there because of how I'm treated.
Fair enough.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
When you're in Barbados, it's like, Scotty, what going on? Hey, cool, fam.
Yeah.
All right. That's it.
Yeah.
People will recognize the voice or recognize your face. That's it. People ain't even putting you up in front to the front of the line if you go in the bank or anything. So it's just like, okay, now Scott, yeah, good,
and you know
fam.
what? You're right. Everybody getting gossip about you seeing me. You, me, and whoever else.
Yeah.
We give everybody gossips.
Yeah. It's a different level of scrutiny for them. So I don't know how they deal with that. But that goes back to the boy was saying about the amount of pressure that he must be under. But still, it does not justify the action. You know what I
we all
mean?
pretty much agree with the same thing. You know, what Chris maybe, you know, what he said, you know, maybe it hurt him, of course, and it would have hurt Jada, but we cannot be handling conflicts with physical violence.
Do you think that whole situation, though, has, like, put an okay stamp on people reacting like that now? Because not just a normal person who did that, that is Will Smith,
and
you know what I'm saying?
agreed. Like Nicki Minaj said, well, hey, you know.
Yeah, I find that some female celebrities were actually very
because
in support of what he did.
They're sick of it, too. Because I think it's personal. Nicki's saying, well, people always talking about me.
Making
Right.
jokes.
You know what I mean?
right.
Like, it's so much on you that you think, well, hey, maybe somebody need to
I wish
stop
my
in
man
between.
would.
I wonder if more women think that than they want to say it.
But wasn't Nikki in a similar situation in Trinidad at Carnival a couple of
Yeah.
years ago when her boyfriend, who was it?
Iowa.
It was Iowa.
I think it was Iowa.
And he pushed away Iowa because Iowa was, I guess, getting too close.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's just that they're on a whole nother level of like where people can be critical of them.
Yeah,
Right.
so it must be hard. You know what I mean? We stand here in our little, you know,
we don't even know what they're doing.
you know. So I guess for us to say, you know,
It's hard to understand.
Yeah, it's hard to understand being that level of celebrity, I guess.
Somebody also raised the question of men and not knowing their role in relationships and insecurity and that sort of thing, and feeling like this is what you gotta do to be the man in this situation. We could spin that so many different ways, because you find out guys get themselves in a lot of trouble sometimes because this is what they feel they have to do to be the man in the situation, whether it's getting involved in doing something illegal to provide for their family or whatever, because they got to be the man in the situation, or feeling emasculated because your wife or girlfriend is bringing home more money than you, and you got to be man in the situation, so you got to find a way to be doing better than
Would that
her.
bother you?
I would be quite happy.
Chilling.
Let me give up my side hustle.
Because that's always an issue there too. You know, that
Nah.
insecurity if, you know, a woman bring home more than a man.
Please do. Thank you.
I think most men would prefer it, actually.
You really think so?
Listen, as much talk as women get for, you know, in terms of people would say, you know, women just want a man with this amount of money. Men like women with money. Men like women that come into the table and they don't have to help and they don't have to do anything for. They don't say it, but they like it. If she got a little position, maybe they could say, well, you know, my girlfriend does this and da-da. They like it.
Yeah.
They don't want to say it, but they like it. It's the same thing. No,
Nadia, speaking on behalf of all men, I'm telling you.
They're watching us now, like already.
yes. They might not say it, but they do.
Some men do.
Because they
For
put
other
women
men,
in
it's a huge issue. Trust me.
I was gonna say, I think it's some like how the woman portrays it to him. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's how you make the other person feel. Like if you make the other person feel bad, or you're throwing it in their face.
Yeah, like they're
constantly,
smaller than you.
Yeah, then they could never like it
You
because
shouldn't belittle the person. You know,
yeah.
like,
But I think some people do that. They're like,
Yeah.
well, you know, I do this
either
and I
way,
do that.
yeah. Men can do it to a woman too.
But a lot of the time, the person isn't even trying to belittle. Because I know a few, or know of a few people who are in situations like that. and the guys just started to feel bad. But it wasn't like his wife or their girlfriends was trying to throw it in their face. It's just he feel like less of a man because exactly.
I mean, which is fine, I guess, because I mean, it may be more of a. I guess it may be a push. I guess
to do better.
Maybe.
You think that maybe like women, maybe sometimes they do that because they just want some acknowledgement. Like in my past, I've been doing well or doing more, and then someone gets more insecure, and I just want you to acknowledge like I'm doing.
Well, I do.
Yeah, like instead of like water it down because it makes you feel bad, you know. So
I want to get into some real deep relationship issues. You need a counselor present. That's a real issue there for real though, because maybe guys do that. Some guys like, oh, she doing real good, but you don't really do nothing. What you do, da, because it makes you feel a little small.
yeah. Or I do more than you.
Yeah.
Maybe just want
comes back to
acknowledgement.
insecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just comes back to your own issues that you're putting on to somebody else. You know what I
So
mean?
let me bring it back home and ask y'all ladies straight out. Do you think that men are insecure in general?
That is like,
I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I do think a lot of men are insecure. I think there's they come off with this confidence and,
Macho.
Yeah, this real macho thing. And when you really get to the nitty-gritty, you realize that there is still a lot of insecurity there. It could be something as simple. You meet a woman, no, she's your girlfriend. I know you're insecure about so many little things. If she goes out, if she does this, if she talks to this buddy.
Why you still talking to Bobby? You ain't hear that 4 years ago?
Such little things.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to have this control or whatever it is. So as I say, we can't generalize, but I do think a lot of men, yes, are insecure and maybe have to deal with issues. Women will go to therapists, Ayala Van Sante. We can try to unpack the baggage we have and try to deal with whatever issue.
Or talk to your best friend.
Talk to your best friend. We don't stop talk.
It's true.
Well, the insecurity may come from they've not dealt with whatever issues they had.
Yeah.
They're looking at the ex-girlfriend who do whatever did, so they brought that over. Or maybe even what the same girl did, whatever years before, whatever the situation is, you brought that insecurity. I know it is going to impact our relationship.
Yeah.
That's
because you never dealt with it.
You never dealt with it. So
Men don't talk that much.
Yeah,
though.
so you do it, your hair nice, you look sweet, you got your car, whatever it is, but yet you're a very insecure person.
Carrying around a whole set of baggage. I feel like every time we talking about tying back into each other though, this is going smooth.
Yeah. Yeah.
so far, so
This is going real smooth for real. What do you think, Rebecca?
I think that everyone has some level of insecurity, but some of us are not as afraid to embrace it like others. There's some people who wear their insecurity on their sleeve, and then there's some people who won't be big, bad, or macho, and you're never gonna see them crack. But behind the scenes, they might be suffering,
A whole mess.
Yeah, or they don't have the tools because they were never shown, or just don't know what to do with it, and they might not even know it's insecurity. They might just think, keep it to themselves or whatever. But I think a lot of the time people don't know how to deal with it because they were never taught, or they saw maybe the wrong way to deal with it when they grew up, or they didn't have someone to guide them. A lot of the time it's like that. So some people might find the tools as they get older, or it might come up in situations and they might deal with it. But then there are other people who just literally don't know what to do. And people laugh like when people say they go to therapy or stuff, but like I always advocate for therapy. So I'm like,
go fix yourself.
It's not like people aren't crazy because they go to therapy. People have issues that they want to deal with, and they're making an effort to deal with it. I think you should, encourage people if that's what helps them.
I find the last few years that view has changed though, because I used to be a big thing. It's changing.
Yeah, I think the pandemic realized, I'm back to let me get
all of us need some help.
Yeah, but in terms of your point too, in terms of insecurity and the society we live in, right? Why people don't get help, or people, maybe males and females don't deal with insecurity. We have an Instagram world. So you put in your relationship, y'all so happy. You always go down, the cabana. You always go to Mexico weekends.
Right.
Everything in your life looks so good.
Everything's perfect.
God, it's so perfect. Your relationship is the best. Y'all take these pictures. Y'all TikTok together or whatever. You know what I mean? So you portray this life, so nobody can know your insecurities, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
That time when you turn off the camera, click, that
Miserable.
relationship or whatever issue you have is there.
Right.
Yeah.
But we live in a world. How are you going to show people that I'm not perfect?
Right.
Even we are here talking, I'm sure people want to hear we're real.
Yeah.
They want what sounds good on our radio voices. Some people want to be like, but what really going on with them? You know what I mean? Because we show that Instagram face.
Right.
And I was made a joke with my friend. I said, I love when people put in relationships and all the happy pictures. When they're done, they don't ever tell you what happened.
No.
You tell me how happy you were for the last year. You get engaged in Morocco. I know we hear like, wait, what happened? You know, it's just a little joke we have that people
Right.
show that good side.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, you know, that is where the insecurity, because you can't deal with insecurities. You can't let nobody know what's really going on. And it's not telling your business, but we have to fake so much in this world we're in now.
Even that is an insecurity when you look at it, though.
It is.
You're so insecure about your own self that you don't want to put out your real self. You know, you
Yes,
don't want people to see the real you.
Yeah.
Because you think they probably won't like you. That's insecurity.
Create a character. A beautiful character.
All right, let me get at you, boy, mom.
Okay.
Rebecca mentioned the tools and stuff, and that a lot of people might not have the tools or know how to deal with certain situations. As a boy mom, what tools are you going to give to your boys?
It is rough. Because, you know, I want to raise men that are confident and secure. And obviously, everybody will come with their issues. I want to raise men that treat women good. I want to raise men that speak to women properly. I want to raise men that don't handle issues with either, because they're different types of abuse, either emotional and physical. I want to raise men that are confident in themselves, that they don't need to treat a woman badly if it's physical, if it's emotional. You know what I mean? It's something so passionate for me. Like, you don't even know how to, because being a parent, you don't really know what you're doing. You're just really trying to
it's
figure
an
it out.
experiment.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like,
It's a
nobody
big
give you this
experiment.
book. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, I want you to be, you know, to be happy, to be, and also another point, I want you to be not necessarily open to people, accept people, you know, be loving, all of those things, but definitely to treat people properly, you know,
Right.
to treat women properly, to treat people properly, to just be a good person, be good people, you know? And I think for me that is, and I hope as a mother, and I hope, you know, as a family, you're not giving them too much issues, because sometimes our parents will be like, oh my goodness, wow, we give you all of that baggage, you know what I mean? You do, because we are not perfect human beings.
Right.
So and as you said, we don't know what we're doing. So I'm just hoping to have good young men. And
But how are you going to get them to that point that you want to get them to? That's a difficult question, I know, but like, how? All right, so what are your sons' names, by the way?
Naji and Jaden.
All right, so let's say somebody comes up to
3-year-old
Naji
twin, so
2 years from now at primary school and slaps him or something. Jaden sees, you know, they got to defend my brother, but you don't want them to be those people and get violent and things.
Now, even before you go there, we can talk. Our initial response is, who do you say? Who do you say? What you do? You let a boy hit you? You hit him back, and we don't even hear it.
Yeah, we don't think about it.
Because we know that's the first thing you want to say.
Yeah.
You brother ain't coming for you. So I'm ready. Your initial thing actually is, especially with boys, we go watch it. Our initial thing is not to say, don't hit him back.
You don't want the soft boys.
And we say those terms.
Yeah.
You better don't cry.
Well, what's the
If somebody
opposite?
hit you G's on, you better hit them back and then go to the teacher. I've heard that.
Yeah.
As a girl now, I know in my house, my mom and my dad would say, you go to the teacher, okay? If he hits you, you go to your teacher, or your big cousin is at school.
Right.
A boy you want, even in the house, I even tell them, y'all gonna work as a team. Anything happens to one, anything happens to one, you gonna go for the other one. So pretty much I'm saying what Will did. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I guess that's such a great point. I guess, woo! Go unpack some stuff too, because how we raise boys is very different.
Quite.
So I might have to say, just talk it out, you know. Try to discuss it and like really
Is that
try.
realistic though? As a
Yeah,
human
hard.
being, somebody, boy or girl,
Yeah.
slaps you, hits you, wrongs you in some way.
At 5 or, you know, as she get older, somebody come and do her something or bullying her or whatever. Do you say, look, hit it?
I always tell her not to hit people because I've had that issue with her from young. Like, she gets upset and the first thing she can do is lash out.
Yeah.
So I've been dealing with that for a few years. So I've been trying to like put that out in her because I think she's a little too fiery.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get to a point where I gotta be out of school with police and all that involved. You know what I mean?
And that's a good point, because when they're young, we think, okay, you know, it's cute, a little fight maybe, but it will progress.
Yeah.
So that's why even though Time Out to me used to seem real cheesy, I'm gonna say I really thought it was a other culture thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually use it now because I'm trying to show them, okay, you take a time out and count to 10 and think about it.
And calm
down. So I'm
down.
trying now to do that. So that they think about their actions, and I do count to 10 and breathe, you know, trying to make them cool down, because I think our initial response we don't realize, and especially to boys, is he hit you, you know, you're gonna deal with that. And I think we need to realize that what we say, then it will, when they get older, they're gonna do the same thing.
Even as parents, I use that same technique with myself, because sometimes Skylar might do something and I get real upset. So I'll be like, all right, Scott, give it 10 seconds, think about it, and then respond. Because if I respond right away, it's going to be a completely different response. And I don't think I want her to be, again, that's our energy all the time.
Kids do what we show them.
Yep.
So even in your relationship in the house, you can tell a child, don't hit, or don't shout. But if they're shouting, and if there's hitting, or whatever if there's cursing, whatever the dynamics is in that house, you don't care what you tell your child to do, that is what they will do.
Somebody out there is listening to this and say, Will Smith slap him, man. Are you trying to tell me you're raising my child wrong? How we get here? We're just trying to say that, you know, these things could be related.
Yeah, it's all in. Because even when I was talking to you, all I realized, oh, shoot, maybe you might say anybody can wrong you, you know? So it's really, you really do have to change the narrative and how you think.
That
you raise, and we always think it's okay to raise boys not to discuss or not to feel or not even to cry, you know?
Okay, right. That brings me to another point, because lots of people brought this up too. How everybody was laughing at Will when he came out, and he was so open, and other entertainers who came out were other male entertainers who were very open about their feelings and what's going on. And men were saying like, the man's so soft. People made memes and things of them crying in public and that sort of thing. Like the way the world views men, or the standards that they hold men to, is like completely different, and I don't think it's real.
Yeah, even the meme they use, what would Tupac do? And it was suggesting a different type of man, you know, like
Tupac is a real G.
Yeah, like, yeah, a real man. No, you know what I mean. So, is that what we portray a real man to be? A man who can't cry, a man who can't show emotion. You know, it's a lot. Issues just in that, and I think that's why people talked about it so much. Maybe that's why we are talking about it.
Yeah,
because I think it brought up so much issues. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a deep topic for sure. I actually thought the slap was fake at first, as you all can see in the group chat. Because when you watch it, it looked like a real Hollywood slap with the pivot and the twist and everything.
But I was there thinking, well, Will can't want that much attention. Like you don't need to slap Chris.
It didn't seem like something you would expect him to do.
Exactly, he's very out of character. So I was like, this staged, man. This gotta be fake.
But how it relates to me was real. When Chris faced,
he was in shock.
Like, I don't know they missed this script. Like, what?
Nobody told me there's a fight scene.
Yeah, he was shocked.
It's crazy. Anyway, I think we're kind of running low on time, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that time flew. And your glasses are still full.
Listen, and I told them, right, I'm outside right now, you know, this is a line for me.
Yeah, she ready to go for the whole evening. Savoring out wine, that glass of wine. I tell you, but we got to put a wrap on it. The first one, but definitely not the last one. Yeah. Culture Minds, the podcast series. You got to stay tuned. We'll be back real soon. And I don't know what we're going to talk about next. I don't even feel like we're done talking about this topic here, because I got so much on my brain right now that I want to pick at, especially with the boy mom. Yeah.
Of course, we can always talk about partying, Krapova, anything. Jump in.